Hello, stream.
Evening.
It is not above the table tonight, and it is not a one-shot either.
Nope. Back in the driver's seat, baby.
Hey, Kraken. What's cracking?
So you're actually on time tonight.
Called out.
R.I.P.
No, it's only because we're 12 minutes late.
And that was because of me and, well, technically my child. There's a coyote in my neighborhood and she freaked out.
I mean, 90% of the time it's your children, so it's fine.
As long as there's a wall between the child and the coyote, everything is fine.
And the dogs.
Sure.
As long as it doesn't jump the fence, we're fine.
We used to have a big issue with coyotes around where I live. They got ran off though a couple years back before I moved.
I used to live where I would see them all the time. Like on the way to school, we would see a couple of them some mornings.
I haven't seen any coyotes here, but I have seen foxes.
Yeah, no, we've got coyotes all over the dang place.
So
The issue is
go ahead. Sorry.
I actually saw one like going into the neighborhood. There's a lady down the street that has rabbits. Guess where it was trying to go?
Yeah, you've said, I think. I used to live in a place that was like, it did not have many people at all, and it was mostly forested. And so there was a lot of deer, a lot of rabbits, and a lot of coyotes. And it was like, it was a little island. Well, it was like a 10-mile long island, but it was separated by a bridge that animals didn't go across. It was like fairly enclosed for those types of animals. And so you can imagine how things got.
Yeah.
I almost pet a deer because it was just chilling down the side of the road and I was on my bike and I stopped and it like started walking up to me before it stopped. Like within 2 feet or something like that. It's a little baby.
Food? Person? Food?
Yeah, it was a little baby. We actually had a deer leave its babies in our backyard at one point too. My golden retriever went nuts.
I bet. I got charged by a deer once. That was not fun.
I had one break the front of my car because it jumped out in front of me while I was going like 20 miles an hour. It walked away with a small cut and missing some fur, and I walked away with front end damage.
That's how it goes.
I've also been behind one that was just chilling, walking over one of the small bridges over one of the canals. Like, I was honking and everything. He was just walking in the middle of the street, not giving a shit.
Oh my goodness.
It made me late for school.
Yep, I bet.
Fucker. Oh man. More stories of my childhood. Oh wow, we're at several viewers already. Hello everyone.
I am a viewer.
Same.
Okay,
Keeping
well,
an eye on
there's
things.
4 of them. Damn it, Dengle.
What?
Are you number 4?
Yes.
Yeah, and then Kraken is 5. Or I mean, Kraken is 4, you're number 3. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Gotta get a solid base to build off of.
It would help if our numbers actually went up. That would be cool. You would be number 1, Kraken, if you were the first one here, but you weren't.
That was me.
Shots fired.
That's fine. You know what I have the power to do? Going into our intro, because screw you guys. Nice. Ooh, I shocked myself.
You alright?
Shocking. I like puns, okay?
And with
Just some puns, not every pun.
None for you.
And-
No puns.
And with that, welcome back to Midnight on the Circle, everybody. I'm your storyteller for this evening, Buttons. And with me tonight, I have... And with me tonight, I have Faye playing Layla.
Hello! Sorry, I was being stared ominously at.
It's okay, so am I. We have Nen playing Ted.
Hello.
And of course, we have Dengle playing Chance.
I'm alive.
Yay! We appreciate everyone being alive. Speaking of being alive and things, this is a World of Darkness game. Some very dark subjects might be touched on. If these subjects that we do touch on cause emotional, mental, or physical or spiritual distress of any sort, please feel free to step away and do what you need to do to take care of yourselves. If you can come back, it would be greatly appreciated. If not, we understand. We do recaps periodically, and we will be more than happy to catch you up at that point. With that said, who would like to recap our last session?
Everyone
Strange
dreamt.
dreams.
That was the better part of it, yes.
I'm going to resist the urge to start singing because I feel like we'll get copyright stricken if I do.
Potentially, yes.
Probably.
But it's okay because specifically, everybody was visited in their dreams by Leech, which that was fun. They were all received very differently, I feel like.
I don't know what problems you guys had. Layla had a grand time.
And then there was basically we were handed the keys to figure that whole mess out by the prince. And the prince showed up at the Sword and Scepter, and Chance freaked out a little bit.
Yeah.
No big deal, though.
Then we all got together. Prince was like, I forget what they said. Wanted us to look into things more, I think, right?
Pretty much. That and hey, you guys are kind of in a mess here. Maybe watch each other's backs for a little bit so you don't die.
Yeah, we were forced to be a coterie. And then we contacted Azzy to talk to some people. Layla traded in her favor. And hopefully kept the other 2 favors open. And then we're talking to somebody tonight. Rafael, I think, right?
Yeah, I believe that just about covers it. Unless someone else thought of something I'm missing.
I think that gets it for the most part.
Pretty much. That said, we ready to get going?
Yep.
All right, y'all know what to do. Rouse checks, everybody.
I failed again. I don't think I've cast one yet.
I also failed.
Okay, so Layla failed. You're at 3 now?
I was at
2?
1 because I fed.
Yes, that's right. You did feed. My apologies. And then
Layla feeds every time she can.
understandable. And then let's see. Ted passed, you said?
Yes, he's at 1.
Okay, and then Chance failed?
Yes.
Okay. And you're sitting at...
Should be 2 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, good. We're on the same page then. All right. Another night arrives. How would you guys like to start your evening?
I think I'm out of herd members currently, but is there anyone in the library who is not one of Layla's herd members that she can corral?
There happens to be a delivery person there. You've seen him regularly. He comes by every so often to bring in new shipments of books and take out old shipments.
Ooh, I have prey exclusion. I probably can't feed from him. Sorry, Zava found something in the yard as she was trying to eat. Yeah, I have prey exclusion, so I don't know if that will be easy.
Let's see. I think you can spend a willpower to tempt if you so desire. If not, that's totally fine. We can keep looking for someone else. That was just who was on hand.
I think they'll ride out the 2 right now and see what happens.
Okay. Anything else for Layla?
Do we know when this meeting is happening?
No. As he just told Chance that he'd show up in the early evening.
Okay. Probably make my way over then.
Okay. While Layla's doing that, Ted, Chance, either of you have something you need to do?
Chance always has something to do. He's going to make it more of an effort tonight to steal himself away from the actual business dealings. Make sure everybody has a game plan for tonight, and make sure that if there's any issues, that there are contingencies upon contingencies, because he will not be able to be reached later.
Okay. And so you spend your time going over everything with your crew. They're very nervous to see you so uptight, but they take in everything with the usual chorus of "Yes, sir, we'll be on the lookout. We'll keep an eye on everything."
Good. If something does come up that hasn't been covered, use your best judgment. Okay?
Couple of smirks from the back of the crowd.
If we need to call in our part-time associate to handle things, by all means do that.
Sir, yes, sir.
And with that, he goes and gets himself fully ready.
Any particularly special preparations tonight?
He's actually going to wear the Super Bowl ring. Just because why not?
Very nice, very nice.
They'll be on that very, well, as per usual clothing for him.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. That wraps up everything for Chance?
Yes.
Okie dokie. Last but not least, Ted.
He's probably gonna walk around the couple blocks just so he's near his haven in case if Layla and Chance need to get a hold of him. Yeah. Once he gets more of that, he's probably gonna head back to his haven and read until then.
Okay. So
Layla would swing and try and pick Ted up early so we can go over. Don't act like this.
okay. Both of you roll me one dice and tell me what you get.
Success.
Rafael.
Okay. So, Layla, it takes you a minute because the first time you swing around, you just miss Ted as he's like walking in an opposite direction and you miss him. But as you circle back to where you know his haven to be, you catch him right before he heads in.
I know you're new to the Camarilla. Do we need to go over things?
Any weird curtsy things I have to do?
I'm sorry, weird what?
Curtsy or whatever it's called.
As hilarious as it is would be to make you do that. No.
Okay, wasn't sure.
What is Ted wearing?
Probably something Layla and Chance got him.
Okay. If it's on the nicer end of the spectrum, Layla won't say anything.
The big question is...
We're going to a meeting. Ted has some slight semblance of modesty. Or whatever.
The big question is, what has Ted done with his hair?
Found it, but it probably looks really uneven because he cuts his own hair. Well, he used to cut his own hair.
Layla's gonna park the car and get out.
Okay. And what does Layla do?
Do you own a brush?
Yeah.
Show me you know how to use it.
I don't know if you would keep it on him.
She's gesturing to the building. Your hair is atrocious.
Not all of us were able to afford fancy barbers. Some of us had to make do with what we had.
And that is what we're going to fix.
I'm the sharp.
Layla will try to fix up the hair. Not really doing a whole lot of cutting, just making sure it sits properly when pulled back or something.
Go ahead. Let's see here. Do you have any points in craft?
I don't. Just pulling it back to a ponytail. Like she keeps her hair. She's got the side buzz cuts and it's pulled back, so she can pull back hair. Not doing anything fancy. Yeah, that's just fine. Like a decent looking ponytail.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that one. It takes you a minute, but I feel like you'd be able to get that.
Just a ponytail, nothing fancy. Although it might take a while to comb through whatever rat's nest he let get there. If he's
kind of shaggy.
That takes a little bit, I assume.
Yeah, a couple minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
Where to afterward?
To the Sword and Scepter.
You guys have anything to discuss on the way over there?
Layla doesn't know.
By the way, were you able to find anything about the thing we talked about last night?
I've not really had much time to go through things. We were fairly preoccupied last night.
Understandable.
Give me a few days and I'll work on it.
And with that, in short order, you arrive at Chance's establishment.
Go around the back.
And the entire place is bustling with very nervous activity, very keen-eyed people moving around and about, even as you pull up to the back. You're greeted with a flurry of recognition from some of Chance's more closely knit private security. And in short order are escorted up to where Chance would be, I assume?
Up to the office and then probably alerted that they're here.
Layla won't be doing anything, just taking a seat and waiting.
Conspicuously, that Super Bowl ring's gone.
Chance, shortly after you are told of Ted and Layla's arrival, you get a text from Azzy that says that Rafael should be there in about 30 minutes. He got a little held up, but he'll be there shortly.
Simply put, thank you. And we'll then just like take whatever phone he does have and just throw it in like a nightstand or something. Then we'll head up.
Okay. Layla and Ted, you are shortly joined by Chance.
Evening, gents.
Hello.
Good evening.
Do we know when it is happening?
They should be showing up soon-ish.
Well, good timing then.
Yes. I see. We have done something with Ted's hair.
Yes.
Good job.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Of course you don't.
You look a little bit better.
You look less like a
Maintained.
gangrel.
Oh, did?
I wasn't going to go that far, but that is
Was
a
I
fair
wrong?
assessment. No, you were absolutely right, but sometimes they can be a little bit much. Sometimes we all can, but they tend to be quicker. But in any case, Rafael. Said roughly 30 minutes, about 5 minutes ago. So,
Very good. I don't think we need to go over anything with Ted. He should be fine at this point.
one would hope.
I assume we just don't insult the guys here.
Yes, for the most part.
We were going to... Above the table, I forgot what we were going to ask him.
It had a lot to do with the specifics about the guru. I know that much.
I believe it was specifically about what happened last time.
Yeah.
Right, and it was... We were asking what happened during the treaty that got
Yes.
made.
Yes.
We could ask if he knows anything about Leech.
Wouldn't be a bad.
Theoretically, how much of a danger are we / Layla going to be in, because Igaru knew that she knew their symbols and shit. We're not hiding that one. That's probably a good thing to not hide and use as an excuse for things.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in character, just go over things a little bit.
So you spend your time planning and getting stories straight, and sure enough, about a half hour goes by and you get a knock at the door, and it's one of your security team from downstairs. Hey boss, we got an arrival. I assume this is the guy you're looking for?
Yes, bring him in.
Okay. And scurries off to show him up, and after another minute or two of waiting, he escorts in a rather tall gentleman, late 40s, early 50s, thereabouts, tan skin, an impeccable mustache, and a grin that just splits his face almost in half. Ted, you would actually recognize this guy. He's the one that delivered your letter telling you to come to the prince that first night. He kind of swaggers in, takes a look at the room that he's ushered into, and without much preamble, drops himself into the closest open seat. Nice place you got here.
Thank you. I'll get right to it because you seem like a busy individual. Or at least that's what people make you out to be.
Huh.
Azzy, obviously, is the one that set this up. We got a couple questions. We've been asked to do a couple things, and we just want to gauge some things.
Yeah, what it sounds like you all have been just about as busy as I've been.
Maybe? First and foremost, how much have you heard, and what have you heard, just so we know exactly where you lie?
I heard you guys got wrapped up in some sort of revenge thing of Azzy's. That's about all I've heard so far. I've seen you guys running around the city.
A master of the understating, apparently.
Well, since we're going to be asking and answering questions, if you don't mind my asking, what happened with Azzy? That I know he's a Malk and all that, and they're known for having a couple screws loose, but kid's squirreliest I've ever seen him.
Well, we found the object of the revenge. It was a fairly eventful night. Long story short, do you know anybody by the name of Leech?
His face freezes. Why are you asking about Leech? Don't tell me she was there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. And he just lets out this long string of curse words in what sounds like some sort of Hispanic dialect.
I assume then that means not good things for us.
I see I'm not the only master of understatements around here.
I was referring to Azzy when I said that.
Yeah.
So we assume that y'all know what Leech is.
Oh, yes.
How big of a deal would it be if, I don't know, someone knew some of their symbols?
To me? Or to other people?
To them.
To them. Yeah.
One of us. Specifically me.
Well, it depends on what kind of them you're talking about. The good them, oh yeah, it's on site with them. They don't like other people messing in their business. The ones like Leech, she's not as picky. You're just another plaything to her.
Keep that to ourselves, but I'm hearing.
Yes.
We've also maybe heard a rumor that you were part of the whole initial dividing lines and treaties and such. Is that necessarily true or no?
Yes and no. I personally wasn't there when that happened. That happened like shoot, when was that? 30, 40 years ago. I personally wasn't there for that. However, memories do funny things. So I was there, but I also wasn't.
Would Layla have any idea what he's referring to at that point?
Go ahead and give me intelligence and occult.
Three and a skull.
Okay. So, see, with 3 and a skull. You've heard rumors that there are some things that shape changers can do. It's not limited to just Guru. There are others that are rumored to be able to do this as well, but there are some shape changers that possess the abilities to take on other people's memories. You don't necessarily know how. It's never been divulged.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting.
So you wouldn't necessarily know specifics as to exactly what happened.
Not tried and true facts, but I can tell you what I know, what I've heard.
Yeah, we were just trying to get some specifics as to who, what, when, where. We know why, obviously. And the how don't really matter right now.
Well, let me think. Who on the vampire side, the Who is pretty much essentially your Primogen Council, plus a couple other people that aren't around anymore. Or who would become the Primogen Council anyway.
Right, that's
On
So we heard.
on the Guru side, most of them left the city after things settled down. They're kind of... They got this eco-activism thing going. I'm sure you've heard. That's kind of like the whole werewolf thing.
yeah, they love me.
And what makes you say that?
Dad was in oil.
Oh. Oh, yeah, they'd love you.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
Be careful. Couple of them stuck around. They aren't really in the city anymore, though.
Yeah, that was part of the treaty. They kind of stay off in the park and we get the rest.
Yeah. From what I can tell, the park's kind of like a power spot for them. They don't really habitate the area too much. But it's like the biggest patch of green in the area, and they maintain it.
Okay. So if they need to get together, that's where they get together, is what I'm hearing.
Pretty much.
Okay, so absolutely do not do anything to that park.
No, that's why it's in areas where we are not supposed to go.
Not unless you're invited, and something tells me you're not going to be invited.
No, ideally I would stay far away from them.
Even if were invited, I'd probably politely decline. If that's even a possibility.
So circling back to what happened. Unless, I'm sorry,
There
you had a
was-
question?
No. There was an encounter with a Tremere that I had the beef with Ezzy, who was also working with Leech.
Oh. Working on what?
Not quite sure, but there was many of their symbols strewn about the room.
Any other symbols
Of their symbols.
of their symbols? Yeah, that sure sounds like a ritual room. Sure there wasn't anything else about the place?
A Fomori.
Excuse me?
Yes.
It was handled.
It was handled.
Yes.
You know what a Fomori is?
Yes.
Tell me what you saw.
With the Fomori, were their symbols or
Mhm.
what?
The Fomori.
Describe it?
Mm. You make a roll for him? He kind of sits back in the chair and thinks for a minute, chewing on his lip. Ah, okay, I think I see what's going on. Did your little Tremere, she able to wipe memories by any chance?
I'm not sure.
If I had to guess, probably.
So,
I believe she mentioned being taught things by a Tremere who was here at one point.
yep, that would make sense. So,
Some
little
Grego
free
or
history
something?
lesson. Yeah, little free history lesson for you. Back when this city was essentially nothing but a big free-for-all there was a point where the Sabbat realized that they were losing, and they decided in an act of desperation to turn to the Black Spiral Dancers for help. And they worked together for a very short period of time on trying to figure out ways to come up with an army that was quicker and a little bit more controlled than the mass embraces they're typically known for. And they did a lot of experimenting with Fomori. Now, just so we're clear, a Fomori is essentially a person that's possessed by this super, super harmful spirit. And usually it takes years, like a person's almost entire lifetime, up till they become an adult, to be able to become a vessel for Fomori, because they have to stew in greed and bitterness and anger for years to attract a spirit like that. And there was a rumor going around that they had captured some mortals and were wiping their memories and essentially building Fomori from scratch, totally reprogramming their memories, giving them lives they never had, to sort of fast track and set them up. She's doing that again, that's a problem.
Well, the Shamir is handled.
If there's one, there's going to be more, I guarantee it. It sounds like you guys got pretty lucky. That one sounded like a botch job. Usually they're a lot quicker and a lot nastier and a lot more with it.
She just tried to stab the wrong one of us. Is the majority of that.
He kind of leans back and appraises Chance. Do you fancy yourself pretty capable?
When I need to be, it's not something that I pride myself in, but it is something that I can do.
Well, that's interesting. Did you guys have any questions for me about what we just talked about?
Just the possible level of danger we were in for having interrupted said ritual, or a ritual, from Leech.
Oh, you're absolutely on her radar now. She'll be keeping an eye on you. She'll be tracking your movements. If you leave her in her business alone, she'll forget about you in a couple years, maybe. That doesn't mean that she'll leave the rest of the city alone, though. Especially if she's continuing her little experiments.
Right.
What that sounds to me like is we have a next step of exactly what we need to do. I don't like it, though.
What do you think your next step's gonna be?
Well, given what we were told to do, try to find more of them. I don't like that personally.
Good, you shouldn't. No one likes it. There's a reason Killian's been badgering the prince. Trying to
About
get more
what?
help. Like I said, trying to get more help.
For what specifically this?
Mm-hmm.
I know this is a long shot. You know anyone else that would know a lot more? And when I say a lot more, it's a lot more specifics about the situation between, well, what happened.
Well, I mean, there's always the werewolves.
I would rather not.
At this point, it's mostly the werewolves and your council.
Something tells me they ain't gonna talk on it too much.
Depends. Prove yourselves to the right ones, and sometimes you can loosen their lips.
Right. Ourselves
see.
the right ones.
Rafael kind of grins.
Let me guess, you have thoughts on which are the right ones?
Well, there's one clear answer here. And it's the one that's easy to access. For us, at least.
Well, does not mean they are the most forthcoming.
No, but
They will be the easiest.
right. But start there and then maybe branch out as needed and as warranted and as able. Because something tells me that Ted can't just go up to, well, choose one of them and be like, I want to do a job for you. That's not how that works. And, well, I can. There might be some suspicions as to why I didn't go to the Ventru one.
It is an option, of course. But the more information we had going into that, the better. Information is rarely free, though. What are you getting out of this?
Entertainment, mostly. Not gonna lie. There's a lot of you folks that would pay a pretty penny to keep your secrets locked up all nice and tight. This is pulling at some strings that haven't been pulled in a couple decades. And I'm anxious to see what happens.
And the price for silence?
Rafael kind of leans back and thinks for a minute, drums his fingers on his knees. It's on the table. could use a little help with something tonight.
What would that be?
Since you already kind of know what Fomori are and what you might be getting into, this should be right up your alley. There are rumors that a few people have disappeared in quick succession in a neighborhood on the very south edge of the city. A little bit too close to home for me. Been trying to track them down. I think I've got a location on them, but I'm not much of a fighter. Could be nice if I had a little backup going into it.
Unfortunately, I am not much of a fighter either. That will be on the other two. I can help in other ways, though.
I can hold my own.
I'd be willing. Since you've been so forthcoming.
I'm sure there'll be something there that'll pique your interest if the rumors are to be believed. Well, you said your name was Layla?
It is.
Well, that's settled. Any other questions before we move on to the next order of business?
Mostly just what these rumors are.
Like I said, there's a neighborhood on the south edge. Couple teenagers disappeared a couple nights ago. Pretty recent. And like I said, it's a little too close to home. The last time they were seen breaking into this old school that had been closed down. It's not a condemned building or anything. There's security that does regular walks around it. Security saw them going into the building, went outside to call for backup, scoured the building, couldn't find them. Then, just as of last night, I heard rumors about someone else trying to get into the school to look for the teenagers and finding blood smeared in hallways, doors that look like they've been carved into with knives. Real troubling things.
Forgive me for saying this, Layla, but that sounds right up your alley.
Why? Because I was able to follow and figure out the last one?
Well, it's more so the carvings, and it's kind of creepy.
Mm.
And what little bit I do know of what you like to apparently do some research in kind of follows the same line.
Well, at least you're not calling me creepy.
No, far from, actually. Unassuming, if anything.
Well, I suppose that means we will help.
Excellent. Does anyone have a pad of paper? I'm assuming you guys don't have phones or anything like that on you.
No.
Chance will just pull a drawer out and take out a pad of paper and a pen.
And let's see how well he does.
But is it letterheaded?
Yes.
As you hand him the pad and the pencil, Rafael kind of freezes and he looks very closely at Chance's ring. That's a serious piece of oh shoot, what do the kids call it? Bling?
I'm sorry. Everything froze for me there for a second.
Rafael is ogling Chance's Super Bowl ring.
Oh, that. Family heirloom.
Kind of sits back. Don't say.
Yes.
Rafael chuckles and goes back, and he writes out the address for the old school, along with what looks like a rough diagram of the school and the parking lot. And he's like drawing arrows that direct you around to the back of the school, to like an emergency entrance exit by what looks to be like maybe a cafeteria. Taking a look at the security systems, and it looks like what cameras and alarms they have been cut or disconnected, but for these doors only. So you should be able to get in this way without any issues.
Good to know.
Good. Is this just going to be us, or are you joining us as well?
Oh no, I'll come with you. I just need to swing by my place and pick up a couple things. I wasn't expecting to do the rest of this tonight. So I'll pick up a couple things and meet you there.
In say an hour?
Works for me.
Very well.
And with that, Rafael will stand and offer each of you a handshake.
Shake his hand.
Also shake.
Also shake.
No limp fish grips.
You notice that his hand is warm. He's definitely not kindred.
Interesting.
Does he try anything funny with Chance's ring, though?
No. He's too smart to do that while y'all are looking at him. That he bids you farewell, and with very little fanfare, escorts himself out.
A minute or two after he leaves. I wonder if he was one of them.
Good question. Couple things that he said, and then the obvious part of that. Certainly a possibility.
Slightly concerning.
Only slightly, though.
I am moderately less enthused about going into a broken out building with him, but I think it is a good price for not being blabbed at this early on.
Yes. Y'all excuse me. I'm gonna run downstairs real quick and get dressed in something a little bit more fitting for our outing.
Yes, I should probably change as well. Ted, do you need a ride home?
Sure.
Are we meeting back up here? Or just meeting at the place? Probably less cars would be better.
Well, I can get somebody to drop me off.
That's fine. Well, then we will meet you there.
Sounds good.
Layla will stand and go to leave.
Follow it out.
All right. So as Layla and Ted make their way back, Chance, what preparations are you taking?
He is going to get changed into some athletic wear. Like long running pants, long sleeve shirt. We'll also get with his best friend, aka head of staff, and be like, do you have any small GPSs that I can put on the inside of my clothes just to make sure that you know where I'm at?
And he pulls out a walkie-talkie and kind of mumbles into it, trying to contact some of the techies on his team. Let me make a roll here. Yeah, we got one. Jan's bringing it up. She's got it on the charger just in case. I hope you don't mind. I think we got it to implant into the dog's collars.
That's perfect. If I don't show back up by sunup, at least you'll know where I'm at. Bring a bag.
Will do, boss. And very shortly thereafter, a stocky young woman comes jogging up the hallway and hands off a tracker and kind of mumbles very quietly into your head of staff's ear before turning and walking out. And he in turn hands you essentially what looks like one of those Apple Air tags, only without the logo on it and a little bit more upscale.
That'll work. And one more thing, I'm gonna need a ride to a school.
Oh yeah, sure. You want to take one of the big cars or something a little less assuming?
Something a little bit less assuming.
Let's see, we got I think Alan just got a new one of those Honda Civics. If you don't mind something a little downscale from what you usually drive.
As long as it's not god awful loud, I don't care.
Yeah, he got it specifically because it blends in a little bit better. So I'll tell him to bring it around the front and meet you.
Sounds good.
Sure enough, who you assume to be Alan, this surprisingly young man, pulls a slightly newer Honda Civic around the front.
We'll hand him the address and entertain questions the entire time.
And so, you two make small talk, and away you go to the school. Anything in particular you would or would not want to talk about?
Nothing overly incriminating or about like where he came from, but pretty much anything else he's willing to talk about.
Yeah. And so most of the ride, your time is spent between swearing at traffic and the kid prattling on excitedly about your Super Bowl ring and, oh, my dad was telling me all about that game, and so on and so forth. With that, let's pop back over to Layla and Ted.
Yep. Layla just drops Ted off at the house. Doesn't really have any conversations unless Ted wants to. I'll be back in roughly 45 minutes.
See you then.
Layla is gonna try and find someone to feed off of if she can.
Okay. Let's see here. Go ahead and roll me wits and awareness.
Okay. 3.
Okay. So, let's see. Your specialty is intellectuals, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure I was looking at the right thing.
Yep. Scholars /
as-
intellectuals.
Scholars, yeah. So as you are driving, you notice that outside, it's kind of odd for them to be out because it's starting to get later on in the evening. But you see at a bus stop that you pass, there is a young woman in a business suit, thick framed glasses, typing furiously away at a laptop that is seated on her lap and a stack of what looks like engineering books sat next to her on the bench.
So drive past and find a place to park and then walk over to her.
Easy enough. There's a handful of businesses with empty parking lots.
I don't want to park within sight, like pull around a corner so she doesn't see it.
Yeah. Easy enough.
But then walk over to her and sit down like she's waiting for the bus. And just kind of interestedly look over. What are you working on?
And it takes her a second, but once she realizes someone else has joined her, she kind of looks up. Oh, hi. I'm working on a business proposal. I'm sorry, I don't think we've met.
We haven't. I was just waiting and I'm sorry. The books were interesting.
Oh, no, it's fine. Normally people aren't really interested in what I do. Kelly. And she holds out a hand.
Oh god, this is not gonna end well. Bless her life.
Okay.
I passed. Shake her hand. Layla.
Nice to meet you. So are you an engineer too then?
Not an engineer, no. Philosophy.
Oh, okay. Took a couple philosophy classes in undergrad. Been a hot minute, so I apologize. I'm probably not the best conversationalist.
Oh, no, it's fine. How far away are we from the library?
You're just a couple blocks at this point.
Let me double check one thing real quick.
Okay.
I want to make sure I remember how this works. Is there an alley or something?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of alleys nearby.
Okay. Layla kind of pat herself down. Shit, I forgot something. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Walk towards one of the alleys and use Predator's Lure.
Okay.
Manipulation and presence versus composure and resolve. I can summon a victim within 50 meters of my current location. If I cannot see them, it requires a rouse check. Mortals normally succumb to this power without a roll, but paranoid, wary, or particularly alert mortals may resist.
Okay. So, she's definitely a little bit off-put by the sudden interaction, so there will be a minor resistance.
That's fine.
But I'm gonna cut her pool in half since she's mortal and a little bit more at ease after that conversation.
I rolled a 4.
It's okay, she only rolled a 2.
Okay. So yeah. Lure her back to the alley.
Okay.
And then 1 dot of hunger.
Okay.
And then immediately afterwards, forget.
Okay.
And then, well, kind of drag her to the entrance of the alley before making her forget. While she's still in, like, the throes of the kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
then forget.
So, you do your thing, and she forgets, and she's a little bit confused, but that's pretty par for the course. At this point, she
Are
kind of
you
looks
okay?
at you bewilderedly. Yeah, I think.
I didn't expect for you to come over this way.
Did I come over this way?
Not sure. I found what I was looking for, though. Unfortunately, I do need to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Do. Stay safe.
You too. But then head back to the car.
She'll just kind of watch you leave with a confused look on her face as she goes back to sit down at the bus stop.
Then go back to change in darker, more active wear.
Okay.
wait a little bit and then go pick up Ted.
Okay. And so while all that's been going on with Layla, has Ted been making any special preparations?
Yep, he's been getting his usual stealing gear with everything black and checking in on his lockpicks, make sure they're all in working order.
Okay. And after a little while. Yes?
Would a flashlight be considered low tech enough for La Sombra to use?
I mean, to be honest, I don't see why not.
As long as it's not one of those super crazy, strobe ones, it's probably fine.
Yeah, as long as it's just like a simple as long as it's a relatively simple flashlight, I don't see why not. Because it's just a flashlight's just pretty much a circuit anyway.
It'll just be a regular one with like red film over the lens.
Yeah. That should be fine. And after a little while, it's probably just a tad bit longer than you were expecting, but not too much. Layla does come back.
Apologies, it took me a little longer than I expected.
You gave me a ride, so I'm not going to complain.
Is it to get there? Will we still roughly be on time within the hour-ish?
As long as you're not waylaid by any serious traffic stops, which it doesn't look like you will be.
Yeah, we'll head right over.
So, let's see here. Chance will probably make it before Layla and Ted do. Is there anything Chance would like to do while he waits for the others for a few minutes? Rafael is already there and waiting for you.
Is there like a running track?
Not necessarily a running track, but there is like a slightly overgrown walking path that circles what looks like some sort of common greenery area.
You'll make a couple laps before coming and just kind of hanging out with Rafael.
Rafael just kind of watches you. Bit of an odd look. And after a little while, Layla and Ted will pull up.
Get out of the car and walk over. Apologies for being late.
Not a problem. The only timer we've got is the sun, so... Well, you've got.
I did wonder about that.
Surprised you didn't ask.
That would be rude. But if you're offering to tell.
I'll do you one better. I'll show you. And as you guys watch, Rafael shrinks and grows feathers. And where a man once stood, a very large raven now sits.
I'll be honest, that is not what I expected. I assumed you were a shifter of some sort, though.
It caws out a rough approximation of a laugh and flops up onto Ted's shoulder, actually.
Would you guys like me to lead the way?
If you would be so kind.
Head into the building.
follow behind.
Yep. Following behind Ted.
And Rafael will continue his perch on your shoulder as long as you allow it. So he follows you in. Go ahead and everybody give me wits and awareness.
Two.
I got all crits on 3 dice.
Very nice.
So 5 with crit.
Very nice. What did Ted get?
One question. Chance did bring his ring, right?
Chance what?
Did Chance bring his ring?
Yes.
Does Ted's flaw kick in?
It depends. What did Ted roll?
2.
Okay.
And
It does.
A bestial. Or a messy.
To be fair, I technically rolled a messy crit.
So we got 2 of them going now.
Not the compulsion, I mean the flaw.
Oh, the flaw? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have it kick in here. It's hard to miss. And Chance rolled a thing.
Yeah, he rolled a thing.
Okay. So, Ted, you can't keep your mind off of that ring. You saw it. Rafael mentioned it. It looks really cool. It looked even cooler on your hand. Meanwhile, Chance, why in the world did you agree to come to this place? This isn't what you wanted to be doing with your night. Might as well make lemonade out of lemons. You're gonna get something done, and gosh dang it if it isn't gonna be the way you want it done.
There will be a minor grumble of, hurry up, let's get inside.
Then why don't you lead the way?
Because I'm not the one that opens doors for us. Physically.
Only in name.
Yes.
Okay. And with that, let's see here. Oh, I got distracted by the things. Did anyone roll a 3 or higher? Let's see, Chance did.
Nope.
Okay. So, most of you are kind of little bit skeeved out about how weirdly almost dingy it looks. Like, it still looks kind of sort of nice, like it was operational recently, but there is that layer of dust and only like the emergency lights are on, so it's a little bit uncanny valley-ish, and you're picking up on that. Chance, you just want to get this thing done, so you're giving this place a good hard once over, and you notice that there are not quite claw marks, but definitely some sort of like drag mark, as if something had carved into the doors, and they're all going the same way, leading down one of the hallways in front of you, off to the left.
Chance will actually point point that out to the others.
Well, I suppose we must follow where it is leading, don't we? Shouldn't we?
Yeah, we probably should. Seems like a bit too obvious, though, isn't it?
Depends on how angry they were. If you'd like to go somewhere else, we can.
Now let's chase the cat, like the mice, into the trap. But at least we know it's a trap.
Hopefully not.
Keep on.
You're going quietly, right?
I can try.
All right, dexterity and stealth, everybody.
That's all I get. Just 2.
I got
I
one.
got 2.
Yeah, I got 1 out of 2.
That's gonna burn a willpower.
Okay.
There we go, 4.
Okay. So, Ted, you're pretty quiet. Layla and Chance, you hope you're being quiet. It's a little hard with some of the debris and some of the linoleum tiles are starting to loosen up, so they kind of shift under your feet and make a little swishing noise. And as you continue down the hallway, since Chance has now pointed it out to everyone, you guys can see that the gouge marks start getting a little bit deeper, a little bit more fervent. There's more on them as you're heading down the hallway towards a set of old, what look like fire doors at the very end of the hallway.
Have we noticed anything else out of place on our way over?
Let's see here. It's a little bit hard to tell amongst the dirt and debris. However, you think you might be seeing some blood smatters, just little bitty ones, no bigger than about a quarter, and like really dark red, almost blackish brown, like they've been there a little bit.
As I pass one of them, Layla will... Is it near the floor or higher up?
It's on one of the doors, but kind of down low, like right below where a door handle would be.
Yeah, Layla will kneel down for a second and just kind of look at it. Well, there was definitely old blood here.
Is there a trail that leads anywhere, or is it just the one splotch?
There's just
There's just flecks along the way. It's not the first one I've noticed.
Rafael kind of ruffles himself on Ted's shoulder, clearly a little bit uncomfortable at the idea of the blood being there.
Ted, since you're obviously a little bit better versed at this, how about you go poke your head in first?
Okay. Go ahead. Go on in.
Okay. Go ahead and re-roll me your dex and stealth as you open this door. Unless you're not trying to be quiet about opening the door.
Still being quiet.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and re-roll me dex and stealth specifically for the door.
2. And there's also 1 on a red.
Okay, so, we're fine. Everything's fine. So you go to ease open the door, and it sticks after about 2 or 3 inches. Like it's not budging.
Curse and push harder.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me just straight strength.
One.
Okay. So it takes you a good little bit of effort, and it is not a quiet effort, at least not as quiet as you were hoping it would be, because these doors have like rusted shut somehow, but you're able to push, and with this horrible scraping noise, it opens about another foot. You would be able, the group would be able to squeeze through at that point.
Head straight in. And take a look around, see what's there.
Okay. I'll just keep going on your awareness here. So, because it's pretty obvious. It's another hallway full of classrooms with scraped up doors. However, one of the far classrooms has the door open, and you think you can see what looks like to be a shoe sticking out of the doorway. It's something that's white and relatively clean compared to the dark, dirty surroundings, so it sticks out like a sore thumb to you.
Still don't think it's a trap.
I never said it wasn't. I said I hope it isn't.
After that display, I don't think they don't know we're here if they are here. So, follow me.
Fortunately. Follow behind him.
Okay.
Chance will go to the open door, peeking into the classrooms as they pass, but
Okay.
mostly caring about the open door.
Yeah. So the classrooms, as you look into them, they're pretty tossed about. There's obviously been activity because you can see the dust's been disturbed and all that. Couple pieces of broken furniture, a couple desks, couple chairs. Looks like there might be a traffic cone lodged in one of the open ceiling tiles. You're not quite sure how that got there. But the real interesting piece of whatever the heck is going on catches your eye when you get to the door with what looks like a shoe poking out of it. Because the shoe is attached to a leg. And the leg is attached to a very messed up body of what looks like a teenage boy.
Oh.
Well, I suppose you found one of them.
Chance will lightly kick it.
It kind of doesn't really do much.
How stiff is it?
It's pretty stiff at this point. Do you have any dots in medicine?
I do not.
No.
Okay. Just go ahead and roll me straight intelligence then.
2.
Better than me.
Okay.
1.
So y'all aren't quite sure exactly how long this kid's been dead, but you're sure he's been dead for more than a couple hours. At least like a day or so.
Okay. Looking beyond the body, anything in the room? Excuse me, anything in the room?
A lot of dried blood splatters and broken furniture. If you want to hunt around, you can go ahead and give me either wits and awareness or intelligence and investigation.
That one.
I got 2. Both are the same for me, so.
5. With a crit.
Okay.
2 on intelligence and investigation.
Okay. So, this that makes sense. That makes sense. So, for Ted and Chance, it's a little bit hard to make out exactly what might have been going on in the obvious ruckus of whatever the heck happened in here. But Layla, upon approaching the some of the broken up desks, you can see symbols scratched into the wood of the desks underneath the blood spatters that look eerily similar to what you saw in the basement of Danielle's apartment.
Shit. And then going and looking at some of the other tables, there's more of them. Wonderful. Rafael, we were expecting a ritual space.
The raven kind of nods.
Well, we found it.
If a bird could roll its eyes, he would absolutely be rolling his eyes.
Well, I don't know what else you want from me. You asked us to come inside and check it out, and we have, and we found the ritual room.
And at that point, the bird hops off of Ted's shoulder, and Rafael reassumes his humanoid form. That's not what I was what I was wanting from you guys. It was what I was hoping I wouldn't find.
Well. Hooray for you.
Hurrah for me, indeed. Well, it looks like we've... Well, that's one of the little punks accounted for. There's supposed to be 2 more. I wonder if the others are around here.
Well, I believe we have more of the school to check out still. Is there anything obvious with the body that makes it look like a not natural death?
I mean, it's pretty eviscerated.
Okay.
Like, without getting too
Yeah, that's fine.
nasty with it, it's pretty torn apart. Like, the face isn't even recognizable anymore.
Okay. Shall we continue looking then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Follow me. And Chance will just kind of step over the corpse. Makes it a very pointed thing to step over it, and then will go away from the fire door.
Yeah, follow.
Oh,
So you continue down the hallway, and it opens out into what looks like some sort of like a main stairwell. You've got a set of stairs on the left, a set of stairs on the right, both going up. And between them is two sets of double doors that looks like it leads to what looks like a gymnasium.
Or space in the gym.
That was my initial thought as well.
same.
I'll get the door this time, especially if it's stuck.
No, it's the door you can open for us.
You're certainly not gonna.
No, that's not my specialty.
And Chance isn't even gonna like try to be subtle or quiet about it. He's just gonna like throw the door open.
Okay. You throw the door open, and it is, in fact, a dimly lit gymnasium. It's one of those weird, we always call them cafegimatorium things, where you got the gym and there's like a stage set up against the far wall, and where bleachers normally would be, there's a bunch of cafeteria tables folded up and pushed against the edges of the wall.
Nothing else in there.
Not that you can tell right now.
He'll head in and just check the stage real quick.
Okay. Go ahead and give me what's an awareness.
I got one.
Okay.
And Layla, go look behind the curtains. Are the curtains drawn or are they up?
They're up.
Okay, never mind then.
So, one, it's hard to miss the bloody footprints. You're expecting to see something after discovering the body anyway. They're very hard to miss. They kind of run through the back of the backstage.
Oh look, I'm a good investigator too.
Oh, did you
Footprints.
find something?
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I'm glad you can use your eyes, Chance.
Not all brains
Obviously.
or pretty face. That's subjective though.
Rafael coughs to hide a laugh behind you guys.
And Chance will follow the footprints.
Follow behind Chance.
All right. Now you follow the footprints, and they seem to lead you down, kind of towards the orchestra pit, like down and around. And when you get to the orchestra pit, composure and resolve.
Two.
3.
4.
Okay, so everyone that didn't completely and totally fail their roll, you're fine. But it's a little jarring because it's dead quiet. And all of a sudden you hear this tearing of like metal rubbing up against metal behind you.
Spin.
Anyone that turns to look behind you, there is a young woman with matted brown hair, this vacant look to her eyes, and this wide grin. And she's running what looks to be a knife along the push bar of the door that's been propped open.
And who would you be? So then who would you be?
She turns to look at you slowly. Pulls the knife away from the door. And lunges for you. Go ahead and roll me dexterity and athletics, please.
Five.
Like the shadows you were born from, you slip away from her knife as she goes charging towards you.
Immediately punch him.
Okay. Let's see here. Go ahead and give me strength and brawl.
One.
She slips away from you just as you slipped away from her. How would the rest of you like to react?
Chance will, as that entire exchange is happening, he's just going to try to tackle her.
Okay.
Before Chance moves, can I pull the gun, release from safety, and fire? I do have rapid reflexes, so I can do
With
that.
With rapid reflexes, yes.
Cool. Can I also
Go ahead
rouse
and
the
take-
blood?
Yes.
I failed. So I'm at 2.
Okay.
For dexterity.
Okay.
So that's 1, 2.
And roll me that.
Yep, I'm just making sure I have the right number of dice. Just 3.
So your shot hits, but it kind of seems to sink into her, and she like pauses for a moment, but it doesn't really seem to do the damage you were hoping it would.
Okay.
And then I got 2 in a skull, and I did use the willpower on that.
Okay. Let me go ahead and roll for her, but since Layla made her pause, we'll take away a couple dice. Tie goes to the active kindred. Tackle her.
And you'll hear a... And that's what you're supposed to do, Ted.
Okay. So, now that she is on the ground, you, Chance, can particularly see that her hand has fused to the grip of the knife that she's holding.
Gross.
And she is going to try and flail and get you with that knife.
Okay.
She will be at a disadvantage because you currently have her pinned, but she is still going to try.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay. And she's flailing pretty hard, and she does nick you. You will, unless you try and get off her or make a move to dodge, you will take 1 superficial damage.
Honestly, he's just gonna let her
Okay.
flail and hit him.
Okay. So you will take 1 superficial damage from the knife.
That's fine.
Circling back around to Ted.
Okay. I
Layla?
have firearms. Those typically go first.
Oh, yes, that's right. I'm so sorry. Layla?
Not a problem. Is there a way to circle around to not hit Chance?
Let's see here. You'll be able to get a little bit of an opening. It'll be a 1 dice penalty. But there is a little bit of an opening.
Barely worth it, but okay. I only got 1.
Okay. I mean, she's pinned, so let me see if she can do anything to wiggle away. Nope. She can't seem to wiggle out of Chance's grasp yet, so bullet sinks and does a little bit of damage. Ed?
Stomp.
Be my guest.
One again.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. So you go to stomp on her, and she's able to jerk at like just the right time so that you like miss just by inches.
It's okay. Chance gonna grumble, damn it, I have to do everything myself, and will attempt to grab her head and just whap onto the ground.
Okay. Go for it.
That would be 4. No crits, unfortunately, but that'd be 4.
That's okay. She only rolled a 1. She's too busy trying to dodge what Ted's doing that she doesn't even notice. She doesn't even notice until it's too late. And you get a good chunk of damage on her with that. She's still going, and it's so eerie because she's just got this vacant look to her, and she's fighting like a rabid dog at this point to try and get out of your grip.
Is her mouth open?
It's in this tight, like Joker style grin.
Are her teeth closed?
Yes. Let's see. She is going to try and get out of Chance's grip. So, Chance, go ahead and give me strength and either strength and strength and brawl. Strength and brawl.
I got 2.
Okay. She got 3. So she does manage to wriggle out of your grip, but that's all she's able to manage on her turn. She kind of rolls over into a kneeling position. Top of the round. Guns?
Yes, shoot and daunt.
Okay.
No penalty this time?
Nope, no penalty this time.
I'm gonna willpower.
Okay.
This could still be bad, but it's fine.
Okay.
I got a 3
Okay.
with skull.
Okay. I goes to the active kindred once more.
Oh, thank God. I have to break things if I get a compulsion.
Let's hope you don't break that gun of yours.
Yeah. Just whip it out.
I mean, you could if you wanted.
No. No. But yeah, just the one. Or, I mean, just the whatever I rolled.
Okay. And she doesn't get the chance to dodge this one. She sinks this one because she just managed to wriggle out of Chance's grip. And she's starting to look like she's wearing down a little bit. You can see this really slow, coagulated, not quite vitae, but not quite fresh blood coming out of her wounds.
Yeah.
As she kind of staggers a little bit after being hit by the bullet. Then?
Let's try to tackle her.
Okay. Go for it.
Another 2.
Okay, she manages to dodge you, but by a hair's breadth. Like your fingers graze where her arm was.
Yeah, Chance is going to do his best impression of Clark Kent and just to the face.
Okay, go for it.
Wow. Hold on. Wow, okay. 1. With a reroll.
Okay, so it's not quite as Clark Kentish as you were hoping for. She got a 4. So she just kind of grin still plastered on that half-dead face. She just kind of rolls out the punch. And now it is her turn. And Chance is right there and just punched her. She is going to try and stab you. Would you like to try and dodge?
I mean, I can try, but I've got 1 die to roll, so. Unless if she rolls nothing, which she's not going to, I can't dodge.
Okay, so if you're just going to sink that one, let's see here, you take 3 superficial damage as she brings the knife up right as you pull your arm back, and she gets you along the arm. It's not particularly deep, but it is long.
Kind of looks at his arm, kind of looks at her. Okay.
Bang bang.
Yep.
If no one else is doing something that crazy. My God. 3.
It's okay. She rolled nothing. She must be wearing down a little bit or something because these bullets hit pretty solidly. And they kind of push her back a foot. She's starting to look not too great. Not that she looked particularly great before, but
We're punching on Ted's end.
okay.
Yeah, don't worry about power.
Okay.
3.
Okay. She rolled a 2, so you are able to land your punch. When you do, her skin feels weird, even to you. Sort of stiff. Almost like punching a corpse.
Chance is thoroughly pissed off, so he's going to actually rouse for strength.
Okay.
And of course, he gets hungrier. Brings me to 3. Cool. I'm gonna use another willpower because that's what I've got.
Okay.
Cool. 3.
Okay.
The Knight of Threes.
Apparently. But Ty goes to the active assailant. You land your hit. And it still feels just as weird as when you tackled her. Though you think something's starting to slide loose behind the eyes. They're not focused anymore. One's kind of meandered off in another direction. She's still up. She's still on.
Is she doing anything?
Yep. Trying to see here. Is she? Yeah, she's gonna go for Chance again since he's right there and convenient.
You're that Chance, you're convenient.
Yeah, it's fine. This is why I built him like I built him.
Are you going to try and dodge, or I assume are you going to soak it again?
I'll roll a die, but
Might help.
I got a success.
Okay, so yeah, no, you will take one more superficial damage. Her swing is she's still landing hits, but it's definitely getting weaker. You think another hit or two, and she'll go down.
Yep, I'm still good. Still not dagger-rated.
Shoot me again.
Go for it.
Ah,
Bring her down. I believe in you.
I got 4 and I can do a reroll.
Let me see. No need. That'll do it.
Thank God.
She was holding on by a thread. As she preoccupies herself with Chance, you're able to bring the gun up and
Can I just
get it off.
like back of the head just up into the air almost?
Absolutely, you can. And
That's how Layla does that one.
you finish it off, and she just stops mid-motion.
I would hope so. Her head's probably...
And crumples in kind of like an odd way, like almost like she was already half rigid as it was. It's very stiff, not necessarily clunky, but weird looking fall.
Are you okay, Chance?
I'm fine. And he will.
Where's Rafael?
And did Layla say that out loud?
No, that was me talking to myself.
Okay. Would you like to roll and find out?
What was Dengle gonna say? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk.
Chance is gonna pick her up and throw her against the wall.
The corpse?
Yes.
It's a dull thump, and from out in the hallway, you hear a long string of cursing in Spanish.
Oh, I rolled 3.
Between what you saw earlier and what you just heard, you can assume that Rafael took advantage of the commotion to pop back out into the hallway and check out what looked like might have been a closet or like a small classroom that was right next door. And sure enough, shortly after the thump, he comes back in and still swearing under his breath. And then he stops. What happened to you?
That.
Could you not hear the gunfire? I only shot about 4 rounds off.
Yeah, I was a little busy chasing something. And he holds up what looks like a ripped shirt that wasn't on either the body that you examined in the hallway or the girl that just attacked you. And as he does so, you can see that he is bleeding profusely from his arms. Chance, go ahead. Let's see, you're at 3 hunger, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll me composure and resolve, but I'll lower the difficulty a little bit since you're only at 3.
Just a second. That would be 2.
Okay. So your beast kicks in. Oh, that smells interesting. I don't think we've had anything like that before. You should try it.
Chance instinctively says, "You should take a drink."
Rafael kind of
Or smoke a cigarette or something. Trust me.
Oh, fine. I found the other one. It was
Lil will
Ed,
step in front of Rafael, still with Daunt up.
with the daunt. He'll kind of edge back out into the hallway. I found the other one in the.
You should step
Closet.
away, Rafael.
Yeah, I'll go wait outside.
Layla's just staring at Chance.
And as he
need to
backs
find
up-
someone.
Oh, I'll find someone. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And from out in the hallway, you can hear what sounds like a swishing of cloth and feathers, and you assume that Rafael has taken off.
Layla will drop Daunt.
Three of you?
Hmm?
And the three of you are alone in the school with a couple dead bodies.
We should probably report this.
Probably.
Four people went missing, right? Or am I misremembering?
3, I think.
Misremembering.
We found 2, and I assume that shirt belonged to someone else.
Likely. I can go see if he's outside if you're in control of yourself.
Oh, I was fine. I gave him the warning, didn't I?
Somehow I don't think you tasting his blood would have been a good thing.
Exactly.
But if you are in control of yourself now, we can go see what information he has if he is still here. If it is going to be an issue, we can go without you.
I'll be fine.
Sure. Layla will walk out.
I assume, do the others follow?
Yes.
Can Ted pick the classrooms where you heard the cursing in Spanish come from?
Yeah. You will. No need to roll for this. It's pretty well sitting there. You see a young man, a little bit older than the girl you faced. He has obviously dead. Has the same vacant look. Except his eyes are missing. So that's a thing. But he also, upon closer inspection, one of his hands was fused to what looks like maybe like a straight razor.
On to the bed.
It was very much dead. Any other stops or conversation on the way out? Okay. So, takes a minute. It's not the biggest school, but it's still sizable. Took you a little bit to get in there, and it'll take you a little bit to get out. But you do. And Rafael is leaning against Layla's car. And he looks like he's wrapping bandages around his arm.
Crisis averted, I think.
Oh, good. Been a hot minute since I've seen some action like that. I forget how ornery y'all get.
Ordinary. Interesting words for it.
Speaking the language, right, Tex?
Sure.
I assume you all saw the other dead one before you left.
No.
Yes, I went and checked just in case.
Well, I guess that confirms it. Now, figure out if they were from the same stock. Or if there's someone else.
The one we saw did not have anything fused to it.
Yeah. Means they were a little bit further along in their development than the one you guys first encountered. That's a little bit more typical of them. Kind of get pretty twisted.
Is this something that you are going to work on cleaning up? Because I don't think that people with weapons grafted to their body should be found.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't contract you guys for cleanup. I've got people that can take care of that.
Good. And how secret are you trying to keep this?
I mean, the prince is gonna find out one way or the other, but she's used to hearing things about this, and I think she's come to expect it after what happened to you guys last time, so beyond that, no say.
Fair enough.
Sure you guys are good?
I'm fine.
It seems like he's the one who took the most hits.
I'm fine. I've been in worse states, I promise. Hell, I came through Oklahoma to get here.
Guess you have then. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up and head out for some healing. Do you guys have any last questions for me before I head out?
Not for me.
No, I think we have the answers that we needed.
Alright. Well, Prince told me she was gonna give you my number, so I'm assuming she already did or will soon, so
We had
if
a number
something
of
like this-
issues. We did not know who it was.
yeah, that'd be me. She kind of tends to do that. Something pops up, it's either me or poor Killian. So. If you find any more stuff like this, just let me know.
We will.
Free word of warning. The dancers, they like to operate out of what's called a hive. If you see a lot of these suckers running around in one place, real close together in a short span of time, don't stay there. It's probably a hive. That's how we were able to get them last time.
Good to know. We'll take our leave then. Would you like a drive back chance?
I appreciate it.
Of course. Layla will get in.
Habitat.
And Chance will do his best to not get the interior dirty. And if he does, he'll give her money to get the car detailed.
I'm sure it's mostly fine. To your establishment or somewhere else?
Oh no. The establishment.
she will drive back.
What's the drive back like?
Well, shall we inform the prince?
It would probably be good to come from our mouth.
Agreed. I'm sure he's going to be telling her as well, but good to not seem like we're hiding things from her.
Yes.
Do you happen to have her phone on you or no?
No. I do, however, have this, and he actually pulls a GPS tracker thing out from inside of his belt loop. In case we got stuck somewhere.
Well, that's good to know.
Figured official business, let's not have all the bells and whistles, and if I didn't drive myself, I don't have a vehicle that has something in it, so.
Is it just in case?
Yes.
Well.
Told them if I hadn't returned by sunup, bring a bag.
Not a bad thing to do. Will you be calling the prince once we get to your establishment, or would you like me to do it when I get back to mine?
I feel like I have other matters to attend to.
Fair enough.
That would be better attended to quicker.
Is there anything in particular you'd like me to tell her that I wouldn't likely be to do already?
I feel like you're smart enough to put in the right things and leave out the wrong things. Which really there wasn't a whole lot of wrong things there to leave out, so.
No. Let me know if there is anything that you need.
Promise you I don't need anything besides a ride.
I'm sure. And then nothing much else. Until he's dropped off.
And in short order, you do come back to Chance's establishment and drop him off. Once dropped off, what does Chance do?
You will take a couple of the more tenured staff and be like, I know y'all are working, but it'll be your night off. Come on. And he's probably done this a couple times before. It'll just feed directly off of them.
Okay. They'll kind of raise their eyebrows in surprise at the state in which you enter the building, but obviously know better than to say anything and will follow as directed.
Then he will take 2 from the first one and then put them in the overnight stay area.
Okay.
And then we'll actually start the healing process.
Okay.
So he heals 4 before he gets hungry.
Okay, good.
well, hungrier. So that is actually good for right now. And we'll actually dismiss the other one.
Okay. And they will salute and give a slightly concerned look to the one you fed off of, but exit as requested. Back to Layla and Ted for now?
Would you like to be in on the conversation that I have, or no?
Sure. I can listen.
I'm not sure if you being around the phone will cause an issue, so we will see, I suppose. And Layla will drive back to the library and then go into her office.
Okay.
And I believe we have the prince's phone number, if I'm remembering correctly.
You have the phone number to essentially the front desk person who will patch you in through to her.
Yes, so we'll do that.
And she, so you ring it through and the person connects you and she picks up. This is Harcourt.
Hello. It is Layla. How safe is it to talk, or should we meet in person for things that should not be said?
I guess that depends. Huh. How worrisome do you judge this news, or whatever it is you're about to tell me, to be?
Rafael seemed fairly concerned.
Ah. Well, I will say I'm glad you spoke with him. It's probably best, if that's the case, that we meet in person. How busy are you tomorrow night? I know it is getting quite early.
Not at all that I am aware of.
Excellent. I will see you in my office at 9 o'clock.
I can do that. I'm sure the others will make time.
That's what I like to hear. I would say I look forward to speaking with you, but something tells me I will not like what I am about to hear.
Probably not.
Is there anything else you needed?
No, that was it.
Very well then. I will see you and your associates tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow.
And she hangs up.
Question: how does Layla get a hold of Tan when she needs him?
You would have the number for his assistant, who essentially handles all his calls.
Usually by text or a call.
At this point, since you've been working for them long enough, they will respond to either texts or calls.
Okay. So do a text to there asking if Tan would be willing to meet probably around midnight or so. If not, then at his convenience.
Okay. It takes a minute for the response, and you see the little thought bubble, thinking bubble pop up and then go away, and pop up and go away. And after a little bit, you get a response of, does 12:30 work?
Absolutely.
Excellent. I'll pencil you in. Is there anything I should prepare ahead of your meeting?
No, but please inform him that if the meeting with... What the hell's the prince's name? Hargraves runs longer, that she apologizes.
I will let him know.
Thank you.
You can get a thumbs up.
To Ted. We have that meeting with the prince, and I have set up one with Primogen 10 around midnight or 12:30.
I get to the princess in time this time.
Please do. Do you need the ride home?
I think I'll be fine.
Good. Layla will send a text to Chance. I believe we switched numbers.
Yes.
Meeting with Hargraves tomorrow at 9. One with Tan at 12:30 if Hargraves doesn't run long.
You'll get red, and then about 5 minutes later, meet you there.
Nothing else. I have other things to do, but I don't know if the others have things too.
Ted would leave the library immediately after Layla lets him know about the meetings.
Okay. Are you heading back to your place?
Yes.
It's getting pretty close to early, but you might have a little bit of time if you wanted to take a detour somewhere. Or are you just heading straight back?
And straight back.
Okay. So you head back to your place unimpeded. Are there any pre-sleep preparations you would like to make before you drop into the sleep?
Chance preemptively tells them to make sure that they have someone for him when he wakes up.
They say, yes, boss, we'll make sure we have someone.
So I said some nice clothes since we're going to be doing a bunch of meetings tomorrow.
Somewhere in the background, I'm sure Layla and Chance feel a slight weight lift off their shoulders and they're not sure why.
Yeah, something like that. So, how long do we have left until the day sleep?
Solidly, you have about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 if you will power through it.
I think she might. So Leech had mentioned a manuscript.
Okay.
And finding the archives, whatever that meant. Layla has already done some research onto the Astral.
and the dreams and all that stuff, she's gonna try and figure out what manuscript Leech might be talking about.
Okay. Intelligence and either academics or occult, and if you have anything related, plus your usual library stuff, go ahead and pool all that.
Okay, so I've got just logic, so I don't think that would help.
Probably not here.
I have. How many? Maybe that's a library that I have. I don't remember.
Say it was like 3.
I want to say it's like 3 dice for library.
Yeah.
I'm gonna burn a willpower to re-roll some dice.
Okie dokie.
That's Jesus. Do I have time to do another burn?
Yeah, sure.
Good. Willpower for days. That's fine. 4. God.
Okay.
3 willpower. 4 willpower,
Okay.
and I only got 4.
So, Layla probably knows what a manuscript is, just like the textbook definition of it. And you can kind of get the sense that whatever it is, it's old. Because there aren't manuscripts aren't a very popular style of literature and haven't been for a couple hundred years at that point. So you kind of go poking around your collection of medieval into pre-modern literature, and you have a handful of quote-unquote manuscripts that you think it might be. You're going to have to do a little bit more digging to narrow them down, but you've got a pretty good head start.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a note for me that should you try this roll again, your threshold will be lowered by 4. I'll also make a note, and hopefully between the two of us we'll be able to remember.
Okay. Sounds good. That's all she'd do.
Okay. And that'll take you right up to the edge of the day sleep.
Yep, she'll push through a little bit if she needs to.
Okay. Any last minute preparations from either of the guys?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
All right. And with that, we will see our kindred off into their day sleep once more.
Any announcements?
Sorry, I've got a ping on my Discord. Anyway, announcements. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming to watch. Thanks for listening. If you are listening retroactively, we appreciate as much engagement as possible. With that, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, appease the algorithm gods as we all must. Please feel free to check out our link tree wherever you can find us on social medias, Twitch, YouTube, so on and so forth. Check us out. typically this is where we would plug our partnership with Dice Legion. However, they are currently undergoing some maintenance, as I understand it.
Look, I think so.
So we will return with that once that gets back up and rolling on their end. Other than that, thanks again for watching. Now that the holidays are over, we should return to our regularly scheduled programming, such as it is.
Yes, so join us on Sundays and Tuesdays for all of our games, what they are during that day.
Love that rotating schedule now.
Yep.
It's been a Kindred heavy week this week, though.
It has.
I like it.
Speaking of rotating schedules and such, we are half thinking about extending the one shot into a potential every now and then game. If you caught us on New Year's Eve. So that's, if you enjoyed that, you actually saw that, and you dealt with my issues, because yeah.
It was New Year's. It's fine.
Yeah. It's better than if I would have been outside. So yeah, if that was something that interested you, you should join our Discord so we can tell you more about it.
And if you didn't catch it or don't want to deal with the background noise, it was a space-themed survival horror TTRPG called The Void. It was very interesting. Dengle, Nen, and I played it. And we would be interested in occasionally adding it to our lineup, I think.
And we're trying to talk buttons into it. And maybe Surga.
Don't know. Surga hasn't.
I don't know.
We haven't talked to Surga yet. But hopefully the four of us, if no one else.
Yeah.
Not anything like our regulars, just maybe once a month or so.
And I think Faye said it best. It's kind of like a Dead Space Firefly.
It's cool. And we can tie it in.
Loosely, but yes.
Somewhat. In the big TPK verse.
Yep. Because that's an actual thing that we have, like, mapped out, sort of.
Yeah, we tied our Call of Cthulhu game into World of Darkness and all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, if that's something that you liked, if you want to see more games, want to see more of us, like I said, Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, most Thursdays. We might have a special game every now and then on a Thursday. Who knows?
If you want to see us try a system, maybe let us know in our Discord.
There's only one system that I'm not doing.
Shadowrun.
No, I'll do Shadowrun.
Oh.
I'm not doing World of Warcraft.
Come on.
Hey, you can handle that one. I don't know any lore. I don't know any lore, so I would be awful at it.
I know too much. It's fine. You know,
It's okay. You can compensate for the rest of us. You can compensate for the rest of us.
Yeah, I've only been playing since 2006.
Fine.
That's so many years.
But yeah, if there's something that you would like to see us try out, we'll do the best we can with it.
And hopefully make it entertaining for everyone involved.
Yes. So either reach out to us on Twitch or on our Discord or on our socials. We're not hard to find. You just have to ask.
Spoilers?
Spoilers ahead.
3, 2, 1.
It was a very quick 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's fine. That was interesting.
We're Raven.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird. Not expected. I'll be right back.
I thought Ravenclaw was going to end up being a good girl.
Nah.
At first, yes, but then there was a couple things that were said, and I was like, all right, cool. So what exactly is this dude? Because not a wolf. And I know you said something about ravens before with this guy. But surely not. But yeah, no.
Yeah. I'm bringing back the Corax, baby.
I'm fine with it, personally.
I'm so mad that they didn't get that they only kind of sort of got featured in the Werewolf 5e.
Yeah. But then again, everybody would want to be them if that was an actual thing. It's kind of like the McCall or whatever they're called.
Macaulay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a ton of shifters. Actually, a lot of the ones that they had the most trouble with were the were-coyotes.
Hey, we were talking about them earlier.
Yes, we were.
Yes. Don't worry, we'll bring back a bunch of the shifters.
Yeah. Somebody will.
It's cold here, I'm sorry.
All fine.
Yeah,
where were
definitely random things aren't going to be showing up in different states. Anyway.
Lord only knows what goes on in the swamps of Florida.
Not even he knows.
he just like put it aside and forgot about it. Yeah,
Have you ever been to Florida? That's absolutely what happened.
I have been to Florida a grand total of 5 times over the course of my life.
Yeah, Florida's its own. It's a thing.
Yeah, Florida's a thing.
We once drove from Indianapolis to Miami. That was fun.
That sounds awful.
I've
Took us like.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it took us like 4 days because we stopped over a day at like Six Flags or something.
We used to make the trip from Michigan to kind of bottom of Florida without stopping.
I made a trip from Messina, New York to Syracuse to North Carolina to South Carolina and then St. Petersburg.
Yeah, that was a lot. I've made long trips, however.
Yeah, Dennis never wanted to stop, so we just kept going.
Sounds like me. Let's just get there.
Yeah.
Don't mind the fact that I'm falling asleep at the wheel.
Right. Right. I don't know if I should have set up the meeting with Tan, but it felt like a good idea.
It
One
worked.
can only find out.
Well, Chance gets what he wants after Layla's been heckling him all night.
Yeah. But now you got to see exactly how and why I built Chance, how I did it.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I'll stand here and just let you hit me. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get hurt that bad. Trust me.
Yeah, Layla's not a fighter. Obviously.
No.
I get 3
Obviously.
dice if I don't rouse.
Yeah. I have 3 dice in Brawl.
Yeah, no, I get... And for firearms and dex, I get 3 dice.
Yeah.
Normally for Ted, he gets 5 dice for melee or brawl.
Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, I get 1 die to dodge.
I haven't used celerity yet. This is the first time I've ever used celerity.
It can get fun.
Yeah, I don't... The 3rd level powers I'm not thrilled about. Like, they're cool, but...
They're situational, though.
I'm gonna have to look in that new book and see if they have any interesting ones, actually.
Which I don't think that we've told them to about the new book.
We have not, but maybe we do that post-stream.
Yeah. So, what else we got?
I don't know.
Did I adequately play a kind of pissed off Ventru? Because you're incompetent.
Yeah.
Yes, that was great.
That was a lot of fun to watch.
And if I hurt anybody's feelings, the channel chance. Get over it.
How
The
are you
channel
gonna
me.
hurt? Whose feelings are you gonna be hurting?
Nens.
I was gonna say, Layla, what feelings?
Right?
I'm fine.
Layla gives as good as she gets.
Yeah, and Ted's just like, okay. I don't care, but okay. At least that's what the perception is.
That probably wasn't something that I not needed to walk away. Because the potato needed to be fed.
Right. That's what it was. Had nothing to do with if she wasn't fed right then and there, she would have been a lot of shit.
Right.
She was also starting to smack me, trying to get my attention.
Yeah, that sounds about right. How dare you not feed me immediately, human?
Right? God.
Yeah.
What? Anything else we need to go over or want to go over?
Chance wants to see what one of those things are like full bore. Twisted and turned.
Keep poking in the right shadowy corners and you might just find it.
I don't know if we want to do that quite yet.
Quite yet, no, but eventually he wants to because he is curious. But I like how it went from 7 to 2 to 6. And I only went up 1 hunger.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was wonderful. I got very, very happy with that.
I bet. I bet.
I also don't have any willpower left for the night, so.
Dude, it's so... Oh, having 4 willpower is so rough.
Yes,
You can't do
that's why I was happy.
anything. I am not used to having willpower for days. So it's weird to be able to just keep spending it. I'm so used to conserving it so much.
How much do you have? 6?
6.
Yeah, it's wonderful having 6 because you're like, oh, I didn't roll well. Oh, I didn't roll well. Oh, I can roll better.
Yeah.
I can roll another one.
Yeah,
'Cause
it was
that's what
quite
Rufus has.
quite crazy. Two extra makes a big difference.
Yes. And to think I almost gave Chance 3 willpower.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I mean,
I really would have liked to give manipulation my 4, but it had to go into composure.
That's fair.
Alright, well, I've got nothing else.
Neither do I.
Same.
and if you guys are good, I'm good. So,
Hey,
I guess
thanks for
this
joining
is-
us, everyone.
good night, stream.